What's up, this is Antonio and welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to do a fight breakdown for Chantelle Cameron versus Katie Taylor. And if you are unfamiliar with how I do things, I just run down a list of her character traits. And I also say what worries me about her fighting style in comparison to her opponent. Really quick, if you like the channel, please take the time right now to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. If you're coming back, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And also, if you could hit that thumbs up button, it really does help and support this channel. Now, without further ado, let's jump into this. One thing about Chantelle is she's crafty and she's tricky. So, I was thinking about what are some of the things that she does that I can give as an example. So, your typical shovel hook, it's basically, a body punch, but instead of going like this, it's coming up like this, and it's curving up to the side of the body where the liver and everything is. However, she takes that same punch, and you got to be pretty ballsy actually just to pull this off. But on top of that, you got to be pretty crafty to pull this off. She actually does that punch to the midsection. She's doing it right here in the center, which I think is a pretty slick move. And if I don't know how familiar anybody is with her fights, but she will do that opening rounds. I'm not talking about when her opponent is tired or something like that. I'm talking about opening rounds where her opponent is fresh. I'm talking about opening rounds when they have a solid guard. I'm talking about opening rounds when they're full alert. She's doing moves like that, which lets you know her IQ level, which lets you know she's no walk in the park to not only try, but to pull off something like that. The first time I saw her do it, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Then I realized she was doing that in the opening rounds. I'm like, no, that's really cool. You didn't see that? So that's why I say it's crafty and it's tricky. But what does that punch do? Well, it zaps, it zaps energy out of you. That's what it does. So if you get hit in the midsection, if you're repeatedly getting hit dead in the midsection, it's going to zap energy out of you. But it's also going to take the wind out of you. And if you invest enough of that particular punch early in the rounds, it's going to start affecting your hips. That's another thing it's going to do. So it's going to make you less mobile. She's very light on her feet. I think anybody who talks about Chantelle has to talk about her footwork. She has amazing footwork. It's almost as if she's floating. Beautiful footwork, front, back, side to side. She can do it all. But she's not only moving, just waist down. She can box while doing that. She can box while doing that. Now, if you are unfamiliar with this channel, I speak highly of people who can fight while moving, while backing up, by changing angles. I do speak highly of that, because if you again want to see somebody's level of their craft, that's a prime example of how deeply invested someone is in their craft. Can they move and do that? It's easy to hit a sitting target, or it's easy to stand still and perform those punches, but can you move and do those punches? That's impressive. Let's see. Chantelle can't plant her feet, though. She has a very wide stance. Even when she's moving around, she still has a very wide stance. But she has a very wide base, very wide stance, and she even dips a little low. So when she's ready to crack, she lets it go, and you're going to feel it. She's very, very confident in her boxing ability. Obviously, with movement like that, you must be very confident. Obviously, throwing punches like the one that I just mentioned, that shovel hook to the midsection, you would have to be very confident. But you could also tell in her facial expressions. She seems very confident in all of her fighting. She even lowers her front arm a little bit. Now, that could either be her confidence or her just simply baiting an opponent. Either way, you still need a high level of confidence to drop that front arm, because your chin is right there. And she's not shy. She sticks it right out. So, again, very high level of confidence. What else? You know what I like about her? She believes in her punches. You have some people who, they'll hit, but they're not fully invested in the hit. Chantelle is totally different. You can tell she likes to fight. I would even dare say she loves to fight. She's always smiling in the ring, and especially after a skirmish, she's always smiling. So you can tell that this is something that she's deeply rooted in and deeply passionate about. One thing I like about when she's throwing her punches, and one of the reasons why she has so much impact on her punches, yes, I mentioned her legs and a wide base and stance, but also she fully extends. So you have basically your arm is, or your shoulder is chambered in here. And when you fully extend, it goes out that extra inch. I don't know if you can, obviously I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt on, but from here, now I'm fully extended, but when I chamber, you have like an extra inch where it's just coming out. And it may not seem like a whole lot, but it does when somebody's throwing a fast punch at your face. What else? So here's the thing about Chantelle. She's not a quantity puncher. She's not the person who's going to hit you with a 6-7 punch combination. She's not going to do that unless you're hurt and you're about to expire and go out. She's not the person who's going to do that. Katie Taylor, that's the person who's going to do that. Katie Taylor is going to throw a 20 punch combination if you let her. Chantelle's not going to do that. She's more of a quality type of puncher. So yeah, she's going to hit you with one solid shot, but that one solid shot is going to be highly effective because she's a very accurate puncher. And like I said, she knows how to sit down on those punches. But that is one of the things that worries me about this fight, because if she can't get Katie Taylor out of there, I got to be honest with you, I don't really know how she's going to win this fight, because Katie's coming, I think Katie's a little bit faster. So I really don't know how you're going to win this fight if you're not throwing in volume. I do think she hits harder than Katie. But she would definitely, in my personal opinion, if I were working with her, I would say, hey, listen, we got to step up our volume. That's going to be one of the factors in this fight, volume. And you're going to have to step it up because you're going to have to keep up with Katie, or there's just no way for you, unless you can just flatline her, and you can flatline her early. But outside of that, you're going to have to keep up with her. And you can't be throwing these single punches round after round after round. So that's one of the things that's a major factor for me, the volume that she produces on a regular basis in a round. It's going to have to be, up, up, up. Let's see. Like I said, she does have great heavy hands. Perfectly timed. So heavy, perfectly timed hands, and she's very accurate. So that's a plus for her. But, the thing that keeps playing in my head, like I said, is just the volume. Katie Taylor can easily throw 6-7 punches. And she's like I don't want to spoil the Katie Taylor fight breakdown for Chantelle, but she's more of a skirmish fighter herself. So when Katie, she'll be back, and then she'll lunge in, throw her combination, and back out again. And the thing with Chantelle is, all right, well, let's just say if I'm responding with a 2-piece, she still hit me with a 5-piece. So either way, I still need to up my volume, like punches. There's no way possible. So when I look at this fight, and I'm looking at Chantelle, I think she has all the tools to win this fight, but I think she definitely needs to up that volume, because it doesn't matter if she wants to play the counter puncher. If she plays the counter puncher, she's definitely going to lose by points. But if she plays the aggressor, which I think she will, and I would suggest she should, you're still throwing 2 punches at best. And that's not going to cut it, because for every 2 punches you throw, for every 1 punch you throw, you're probably going to get 4 back. For every 2 punches you throw, you're probably going to get about 7 back. So either way, it's not going to add up. Let's see. Chantelle can lead the dance, and she can counterpunch as well. She typically likes to lead. Every once in a while, she'll back up, but for the most part, she likes to lead the dance. She has a serious check hook. Again, and this is something for people who move, some people who are light on their feet. And I'm telling you, I can easily see Chantelle knocking out Katie Taylor only because of this check hook. Beautiful lead punches, beautiful straight punches. But that check hook, I can see Katie Taylor rushing in for a combo, and I can see Chantelle just veering off to the side. That I can see as well. I can see a knockout in this fight. And obviously, if a knockout comes, it's definitely going to be Chantelle. I don't foresee it being Katie Taylor. I think Katie Taylor would just pummel her to smithereens or something like that. So, but there are ways for Chantelle to knock out Katie Taylor. There are definitely ways. And I just mentioned two. Her straight punches are very powerful. Her straight punches are very malicious and with the intent that they have behind them. And like I said, when she's angling off, she's equally as dangerous. Let's see. Now, here's a segment that I call where Chantelle will get in trouble. I think this is where she'll get in trouble. Not throwing enough punches, as I just previously stated. Fighting on the inside. I don't think Chantelle has the greatest inside game. It's not bad, but I think her bread and butter is on the outside. Because she is a slugger at heart. She's a beautiful boxer that's a slugger at heart. So the problem with that would be if you present a fight to her, she'll take it. She'll accept. She'll accept the challenge. All right, we're done. We're done boxing. We're gonna slug it out. Yeah, let's slug it out. All right, fine. I've totally blocked out boxing in my mind. Let's just slug, and that's a problem because Chantelle is very tough. Chantelle is very durable, and because of those two things, she doesn't mind just mixing it up. But again, you're fighting a volume puncher. You are not gonna get off those punches faster than Katie Taylor, and because you're not gonna get off those punches faster than Katie Taylor. You're going to lose every little skirmish you have. You're just going to lose unless you can flatline Katie Taylor. And I'm not saying she can't. I think she definitely possesses the ability and the equalizer to do so. But I think you're playing a very unsafe game by doing that. Let's see. What else do I have? So Chantelle, like I said, she loves boxing. She clearly loves boxing. And she clearly loves to fight. But I think there's a time and a place for everything. I think you need to know who to taunt and who not to taunt. And I think Katie Taylor, like the only person more decorated than Katie Taylor at this point is who? Clarissa Shields. So I think you need to know who and who not to taunt. And what do I mean by more decorated? This is what I'm saying. Katie Taylor has another level that she can go to. She has championship level and she can go to another level, what's like Dragon Ball Z. She can go to like Super Saiyan. You know what I'm saying? Like she can go to another level. Just her beating Amanda Serrano, she can clearly go to another level. All right, so be careful who you taunt. Be careful who you annoy in the fight. Be careful, the dog behind the fence that you're rattling. You're rattling the fence and you're trying to get the dog's attention because that dog will actually come out that gate. Let's see. So the thing about Chantelle is she does have a mean streak. She does play a bit. She can be a little antagonistic, in the ring, and that can work for you, but it can also work against you. Like I just stated with Katie Taylor, because I do believe Katie Taylor has just another level that she can go to, and she's gone there several times. So we know she can go there, and I'm not saying that Chantelle can't meet her there, but what I am saying is, in doing so, you lose sight of the prize of what you were intending to do. My issue with Chantelle mentally is she doesn't always stick to her game plan. There'll be a game plan, and if you look at her fights, she'll start off beautifully. And then somewhere down the road, she'll turn into a slugger. And it's just like, if I'm in her corner, I'm screaming, go back to what we were doing. You just won the last 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds doing this. You fought beautifully. You didn't get touched. Why are you going over here? And that's the thing with her. She finds it very difficult to stay on game plan. And that worries me because Katie Taylor can stick to the game plan. And yeah, if you can bait Katie Taylor into a slugfest, I don't think you should. But if you can do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know she's game for it, but I honestly think she can outbox Katie Taylor. And I'm probably alone in saying this, but I actually think she can outbox Katie Taylor. But she would have to stick to the game plan. And I know slugging it out with Katie Taylor is not the game plan. So I wouldn't recommend that. And also with Katie Taylor fighting, having so many rounds with Amanda Serrano, and that being the slugfest that it was, she's on that game right now. You know what I'm saying? Like she's done X amount of rounds doing that. One of the greats in women's boxing. So be careful who you pick or call out to fight like that. However, this is the last segment. How does Chantelle win this fight? Landing the harder punches, cleaner punches, by keeping Katie guessing. Remember that craftiness that I was speaking about in the beginning of this video. Masterful footwork. I think Katie Taylor has nice footwork, but I think Chantelle's is superior. Chantelle can float. Katie can move, but Chantelle can float. There's a difference. Very crisp body punching, and it's a mix-up of body punches. It's not the same body punches. Like I said, she's very creative with her body punching ability, and that's also something else she's bringing to the table. Katie Taylor can punch to the body, but she's not going to do it the way Chantelle's going to do it, and she's not going to do it in the craftiness in which Chantelle's going to do it. And let's see. What else? I think Chantelle can win this fight. I think she's bigger. I think she's stronger. I think she's more comfortable with this, because I don't foresee this being like a stationary fight. And I think she's going to be more comfortable with a mobile fight. She's a lot more fluid and graceful on her feet. That's not only just her footwork that I was mentioning, it's her hands. Like I said, that chamber and the shoulder coming out fully extended. She's very comfortable. She's very fluid. She's very light. And I think it's easier. Let me say this. I think it's easier for Chantelle to find her flow state in the fight than it is for Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor can be a little robotic from time to times. And Chantelle, you can tell she's always on. She's always with it. She's always in the moment. And that's basically it for my fight breakdown for Chantelle Cameron versus Katie Taylor. I do think she can win this fight. I think this is going to be an amazing fight. And again, once again, women are putting on much better fights than the men. I mean, gotta call a spade. And they're doing it yet again. And Katie Taylor is taking on all challenges, and we got to give it to her for taking on another tough fight. Also for Chantelle for taking on a tough fight. Again, I wish the men were more like the women in that aspect, where they would step up and be willing to lose that O and be willing to, go down in a blaze of glory. But with that being said, that's the end of this video. As always, please like, please share, please subscribe to this channel.